Good evening, everybody. My name is Veer Ahuja, and as Lee said, I am the Director of Solution Architecture for Ordazzle. Today's presentation is going to be about the journey to amazing customer moments. But before I get into that, I want to tell you a little bit about ETP. So ETP is a retail software company for the last 34 years, headquartered in Singapore and focused on the Asia-Pacific region. Last year alone, we had around $20 billion worth of merchandise flow through our systems, servicing over 300 million consumers. Every morning, over 100,000 people woke up and used our ETP systems across 24 countries in Asia and across 40,000 stores and web stores. Over these 34 years, we've had the privilege of working with many brands and many industry giants like Titan and ITC. We've been very lucky to learn from these brands and work together with these brands. And we've supported these brands, and these brands have supported us through tough times, including the pandemic. So the pandemic for the last 2 years has been a very tough time for many people, but it's also been a time of learning and reflection. One thing we've learned, and one thing we've learned from our brands and our partners, is that loyal customers are the backbone of our business, in good times and in bad. Getting loyal customers to support you makes all the difference, and supporting your loyal customers is only going to benefit you by improving that customer experience. Now, what we've always learned traditionally in retail is that there are 4 main pillars for retail success. Starting off with getting the right product or the right merchandise, putting it in the right place, whether it's a high street, whether it's a mall, doing it at the right time or the right season, and finally, doing it at the right price and the right promotions. But using our learnings from COVID and using our learnings from our customers, we've come to agree upon the fact that there is a 5th and equally important pillar, which is getting the right experience. The right customer experience is extremely important because that's what makes customers loyal to you, and that's what will help customers constantly come back to you. Giving a customer a bad or negative experience can really impact you and can really cause those customers to switch and hop brands. Today's customer journey is as complicated as ever. Our customers are extremely well informed, and every customer is doing research before they buy anything. Around 12% of customers actually research online and buy their goods online, while around 20% research online and then go to your store, see the physical look and feel of your product, and then buy it from your store. We have about 8% who actually research in your store and then go off and buy it online. And finally, 60% who go to your store, whip out their mobile phone, check your website, check your competitor's website, check marketplaces, and then finally make the decision to buy in store. So what does this tell us? What this tells us is that 100% of our customers are already channel agnostic. Whether your customer is buying your products online or whether they're buying them in the store, they're expecting the exact same experience. And giving the customer this experience is extremely important because, as I mentioned earlier, bad experiences can lose the loyalty of your customers, and you can see the customers switching brands. So when exactly do customers switch brands? This is a post-COVID study done comparing the US, Asia, and the rest of the world. After a single bad experience, we can see that in Asia, around 25% of customers are looking to switch brands, while in the rest of the world, that number lies closer to 35%. After maybe 2 or 3 bad experiences, around 35 to 40% of customers in Asia are looking to switch brands, while after several bad experiences in a row, that number jumps all the way to 70% plus. So it's extremely important to get your customer a great experience and find out what actually matters to your consumers to make sure that they have that good experience. So talking about what matters most to consumers. We've recently found out that efficiency is the most important thing to today's modern day consumer. They want process to be efficient and fast and frictionless. Efficiency is followed by knowledgeable staff, making sure your store staff have the right tools and right equipment to service your customers properly, whether it's being able to tell them inventory on the fly, maybe help with queue busting, followed closely by frictionless payment. This is then followed by convenience and finally friendly service. Using these 5 factors that matter the most for consumers, we can make great customer experiences for our customers along their customer journey. Now, when it comes to the customer journey has 6 stages, starting off with awareness. So customers become aware of your brand, your offering, your products in this stage. It's done through advertising, social media, search engine optimization, and even things like reviews from friends and family. Over here, it's extremely important to make sure that your product information is clear and what the customer is learning about you is actually what you're offering. Because the next stage is the discovery. So discovery is when the customer actually goes to your brand.com or a marketplace, or maybe they go to your store or read your reviews and see your ratings. This is when your product information needs to be very strong and it needs to match with what they were made aware of in the first stage. Otherwise, if you have differing information between awareness and discovery, it can switch off your customer interest and you can already lose your customer so early on in the journey. Now, after the customer has discovered your website, discovered your offerings, the next step is engagement. So engagement can happen in many ways as well. It can be an online engagement, whether they're talking to you on social media or on the chat functionality on your website, but it can also be in person, in the store, or maybe on the phone. What's important over here to customers is that they have a smooth experience and smooth interactions when they're working online. And when it comes to the physical side of things, they're dealing with knowledgeable, well-informed staff. This also ties in directly with efficiency because customers want that efficient experience and they want the engagement to be as efficient as possible, which is obviously helped by knowledgeable staff. Now, after engagement is done, we move on to purchase. This is where your customer is actually buying your products. So this is when they go to your brand.com, they go to your carts, they check out, and they buy it. This could even be a WhatsApp chat and buy, or it can actually be your physical store as well, or maybe social commerce. Over here, again, very important to have fast and frictionless payment processes so that your customer can actually buy and enjoy the buying process with your company. Now, the customer journey doesn't end here. There's still 2 more stages after purchase. First being the after-sales experience. Now, these are the experience your customer is facing after they've actually purchased the product from you. Whether it's going back to your brand.com to get some information, whether it's maybe calling up a call center, or maybe doing a return or getting something serviced. Maybe you're selling trousers and your customer needs pants altered. That's all covered under the after-sales service. Over here, again, well-informed staff and well-done chat functionality online is extremely important because your customer still wants a frictionless and friendly process for this. And finally, after all these stages comes the loyalty. So your customer loyalty can be harnessed through your promotions, your discounts, and something like your loyalty programs. Over here, it's important to have clear communication, personalized promotions, and a very relevant and well-tiered loyalty program. Using this, we can see over 30 unique touchpoints where we can interact with our customers to create this great customer experience. Unfortunately, currently, retail and e-commerce is a slightly disjointed process. In most retail scenarios, we tend to have a head of retail and we tend to have a head of e-commerce, both working in different directions, but working with the same product, with the same values, for the same customer. Since your customer is already channel agnostic, this experience for them can be rather disheartening or disjointed because they expect to have the same experience regardless of channel. This can actually be achieved through unified commerce platforms. So unified commerce platforms are platforms which, under one single roof, one single unified interface, have your brand.coms, your omni-channel point of sales, your marketplaces, and have one single source of the truth for your products, inventory, promotions, your customer data, and your order information. Using this, we can also be channel agnostic, just like our customers, and service them the best way we can and create great customer experiences. Thank you, everybody. That's the end of my presentation. If anybody has any questions, I will be at booth A6 to booth A8. Please feel free to drop by. Thank you.